Hey guys, what's up? Guitar Player Nick here, and today I'm going to be doing a quick comparison. On the right we have the iPhone 3GS, which features a 3.5 inch 640 by 480 VGA resolution screen. It has iOS 6 on it, and so far performance on iOS 6 is actually much better than iOS 5. It's very fluid and fast. And then on the left we have the Galaxy S2 Skyrocket. This is a 4.5 inch Super AMOLED Plus display with a resolution of 480 by 800 pixels. Powering these phones, the Galaxy S2, it is being powered by a Snapdragon S3 processor, dual core at 1.5 gigahertz. Not the fastest, especially with the Galaxy S3 out now, but this is definitely the fastest S2 that there is. It has 4G LTE, which is really fast on this phone, versus the 3GS, which is still running a single core processor, 800 megahertz, somewhere around there, with about 200, 300 megabytes of RAM. I think 256, maybe 300. Definitely not 512 though, not that much. And then on the Skyrocket, there's a whole full gig of RAM. So, speed difference, they are different platforms. It's running iOS, iOS 6 like I said, and it's actually very fast and smooth. Now one of the major differences here is going to be the connectivity with 4G LTE versus just standard 3G on this phone. Let's go ahead and open up browser. Actually, I don't want to use Chrome. And just to make sure we have all applications closed, go ahead and do that on the 3GS, and then I'll do that. And actually, one thing that I see a lot of people not do is clearing out their memory, their RAM, which is another way of force quitting, but it goes further than just force quitting the app, or I guess just clearing it out. Let's go ahead and open up the web browser here. And I have apple.com loaded up on both. Alright, so I got the Apple site up and running on both devices. And of course, very smooth on the iPhone 3GS, though not as smooth as the 4, 4S, and newest iPhone 5. It still is pretty decent, but again, not the fastest. And then over here, also very fast as well. Pinch gestures. It feels like the iPhone tracks your finger just a little better, but Galaxy S2 still very smooth in the web browser, and this is the stock web browser, and then this is Safari over here. Let's go ahead and load up Engadget. Go ahead and type that in. One thing I have noticed with the Skyrocket is, although the resolution is not quite HD, it is in HD, it's really crisp display. After using the 3GS for a little bit, and then moving up to the Skyrocket, it's like night and day. Now this thing, you can definitely see pixels on the screen. But let's go ahead and load up Engadget. 3, 2, 1, and they're both on the same Wi-Fi. So as you can see, Skyrocket a little quicker, both very quick. Let's go ahead and load up the desktop site, and there is Flash on the Skyrocket. And then we're going to go ahead and open it. 3, 2, 1. So Skyrocket loaded a tiny bit quicker. Let's see who finishes. And Skyrocket's done, and 3GS is finished. So both sites are loaded up now, and as you can see, again, smooth on the iPhone. Now it's a little stuttery. What I mean by that is, like, if I scroll in like that, I can zoom down and stuff, but when I try to zoom to the side, sometimes it won't let me. It'll just like freeze for like a couple seconds, versus on the Skyrocket it always seems to work. I guess a combination between the CPU and the memory just makes web browsing a lot better. So I'd say if you're picking a phone based on web browsing right now, it'll have to go to the Skyrocket, mainly because of the screen and also because of the processor and the RAM. It can really handle much more on here, especially with Flash. Anyway, so let's go ahead and alright, so now we're gonna just load up a trailer here at the same time, hopefully. Let's see what, okay. And we're gonna go ahead and put these like that. Alright, hopefully you can see that better. Looks like the camera looked like it was cutting off 3GS. Okay, so now we're gonna queue up 2 trailers. Hold on a second there. Alright, so
what's your name?
Kenneth Kitson.
Where are you from?
Reno.
now you can almost see that the 3GS has sort of a bluish tint, which gets kind of annoying after a while, but it isn't the most high-end smartphone nowadays, so you can see the size difference here. Fortunately, a lot of trailers and videos are going to be in letterbox on the 3GS because of the resolution and the screen size. As far as these two go, I'm going to have to give it to the Skyrocket, mainly because of the bigger screen. And also, let's see how sound quality is. I have some songs here that I'm going to load up. Alright, oops, why did I do that? Alright, and just going to give you a quick sample of the audio on both. So this is a Skyrocket. Now hold on, let me take my case off just in case that's preventing some sound from coming through. This is my little rubber case that I got for like $2 online. So let's try that again. This is the loudest that it's at. So in my opinion, it's kind of a tinny little speaker, but I think for a smartphone, it's pretty decent. Decent enough, but the iPhone 3GS, I like the speakers and the sound better on it. So let's go ahead and test that out. Go ahead and turn up the volume here. So I don't know if you can really hear it in the camera, but it actually, I've actually not tested this before, but it actually sounds like iPhone has, the iPhone, it's a little more bassy sounding, but it's also the tone and the crispness of the audio and the richness. It just it sounds, the sound quality on here is dull versus the Skyrocket. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the map software on both. Let me just go and find, let's see, where is it? Maps, there it is. Now I realize there is no turn-by-turn navigation on the 3GS and it's very limited. Alright, so let's go ahead and load these up. And again, these are running off of Wi-Fi. Let's go ahead and zoom in It's a little laggy on the 3GS, but again, this is an older device. Let's go ahead and look on the 3GS here. Skyrocket, sorry. Smooth. Map is very clear. Let's see if we can do layers. Satellite. So, let me see if I can load up satellite. Then I'll load that up on the 3GS. And then we'll just go ahead and zoom in. So I don't know if this is in the exact same spot, but here's just a little example so you can see the clarity. Of course, the Skyrocket is going to be better, especially with the capability of actually downloading full maps onto the phone, so you will not need to have a data connection or Wi-Fi connection. You can just do it straight from the phone, kind of like a GPS does, which I think is just fantastic with Android that you can do. Versus with the 3GS, you're going to have to connect, and with the data speeds of this thing, it's not going to be the most reliable. There's a little arrow. We can tap the arrow. Then we get a little menu here on each. On the iPhone 3GS, you can add the contacts, add the bookmarks, report a problem, share a location. And then on the Skyrocket, all it says is map directions and call. There it is. Street View, share, and add as a contact. So pretty much the same similar stuff. I'm not exactly sure how to adjust the map layers and things like that on the 3GS, but I guess this is it. This is it down there, I guess. And these are actually TomTom maps versus the Android phone using Google Maps. So Skyrocket obviously wins this, but mainly during this comparison, I just wanted you to kind of get an idea of how big of a speed increase and how much the bigger screen really affects, and the software and everything about the two phones. So now let's talk about customization and personalization, two of my main favorite things. Now with iPhone, you have a very simple OS here, pretty much, as people call it, a grid of icons, which it really is a grid of icons. I've jailbroken iPods before and other iPhones before, and there's certain apps and stuff off Cydia that have widgets, but they're not half as good as the ones on Android. They're not the live widgets on you can't get those on the iPhone. See, I have these live movie widgets here, and that's one of the things, again, I don't like on iOS. You can't have any widgets, and especially you can't have live widgets. Now, to be honest, with the Skyrocket, there is a tiny bit of lag just with tracking your finger, but it's not really a big deal, and most people won't notice it. But the iPhone, it's kind of like it tracks your finger the whole way, no matter what. It'll always track your finger. With the Android phone, it doesn't really do that. It does, but it's just not as accurate, I'd say, as the iPhone. So let's go ahead and try a game. First off, just so nothing affects the performance, we'll go ahead and close all the recent apps, and then I'll make sure to kill the tasks, the task manager, and then we'll do the same thing on the iPhone. Alright, now so overall with the two phones, iPhone, definitely a great phone. Skyrocket, excellent phone. So both great phones. It just really depends if maybe you're thinking about upgrading to the Skyrocket. If you're on AT&T, which iPhone 3GS is only for AT&T, so you'd have to be on AT&T unless you got it unlocked. If you're on AT&T, you're thinking about upgrading to this. This is definitely a great buy. It's definitely a decent phone, and it does all basic tasks and more with games and the Android market and everything. It's just a great phone. performance-wise, very good.